Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So today I am going to be giving you guys my top 10 most anticipated movies of this year, because none of the movies I want to see have really come out, and nothing really comes out this month, so I was like, well, I need to do it in January. So I am going to give 4 honourable mentions to start with, then we'll get into my top 10 and I'll talk about them. So the first honourable mention I have is Madam Web. Now, the reason why I have this one on there is because this one seems to be very, very different than the other Sony movies that we've had. This one's actually dealing with the multiverse, and we're actually getting multiple Spider Women and that sort of stuff in there, right? So I'm excited to see what they're going to do. I'm afraid that they're not going to have any type of action in it. But I do want to see what they are going to try and do with the Sony universe, because there are reports going around that at some point they're going to try and put the Sony universe into the MCU. So that's why I have Madam Web on there. And then 3, obviously I have Garfield. Garfield, I'm so excited for Garfield. Chris Pratt voicing Garfield, that's kind of funny to me. But I'm really excited for that movie. 2, Kraven the Hunter, I'm excited to see finally a live action Kraven with Aaron Taylor Johnson, the actor who plays the MCU's Quicksilver. And then number 1 for my honorable mention is Godzilla vs. Godzilla X Kong New Empire. Now, into my top 10. Number 10 for me, we have Despicable Me 4. I love the Despicable Me films. I actually have 2 and 3 right here. A lot of these films I will do reviews leading up to them. So I will do that. But Despicable Me 4, I'm super down. I love the Minions. I love what they are doing with that franchise. I know that it's probably going to be very much like how people say about Toy Story, how they're trying to drill it into the ground. But I don't think that they're going to do that. I think that they'll actually come up with an interesting story for this movie. So number 9 for me, Inside Out 2. Inside Out is one of my favourite Pixar movies. And I love Pixar. So I think that this is one of the few Pixar films in a few years I was like, yeah, you know what, I'm sold. We get new emotions with anxiety and that sort of stuff, so I'm very excited to see what they do with Inside Out 2, and see how they push the story forward now that Riley is growing up. Now, number 8 for me, this is an interesting one. Legend of the Legend of the White Dragon. Any of you guys that are Power Rangers fans out there know why I have this one on here. This is Jason David Frank's last movie, right? So, as we already know, I want to say about 2 years ago now. Yeah, 2 years ago he passed away, and we kind of knew that he was making this movie with Bad in the Sun, because he would promote it on different channels, and he was still promoting it around the time that he died. So, and he was really trying to make a game, he was trying to make books, he was trying to make a movie series out of it. So, but the fact that this is going to be JDF's last movie is actually kind of shocking. So, like, I think it's one of those things where you just need to kind of go like, you know what, I definitely will see that, because we're never going to see this. We're never going to see this guy again, because as we know, the last time that he did Power Rangers was for Dimensions in Danger, which to me was actually a very good close to the Tommy legacy, because you had the whole thing of him with the kid, and you have the introduction of the Master Morpher and him saving the day. So that was a very good Tommy episode. But I'm excited to see what he does with Legend of the White Dragon. So I'm very excited for that. Number 7 is Joker 2. I'm not going to say that title because I'm not French or whatever. But I'm mainly excited because we get a new version of Harley Quinn. And Harley Quinn's one of my favourite characters of all time. Portrayed by Lady Gaga. Of course, I love Margot Robbie's version. I think that she is the definitive version of Harley Quinn. But I think that Lady Gaga will be amazing for the Joker universe. Right? So I'm very excited to see what they do with Joker 2. Because we know it's a musical. I love musicals. I'm a big fan of Grease. I'm a big fan of The Greatest Showman. And I just love music, whether if it's in documentaries or musicals or whatever. So I'm very excited to see what they're going to try and do with Joker 2. Number 6 for me is Transformers 1, the new animated Transformers movie. And this one is actually quite interesting because one of the things that people complain about with the characters, or I guess the Transformers movies, is that... Oh no, it's not on. I was trying to turn the lights on. It's a bit dark. But anyway, but people always complain about the human characters. Right, so the fact that this time we actually get to see the Autobots on Cybertron fighting, and also Optimus Prime and Megatron as friends and then becoming enemies, that is interesting. So I am sold to see a new Transformers movie, and I will do all the Transformers movies leading up to it. So I'm excited for that. Now we're getting into my top 5. This is where we get into ones where I'm just like, oh god, what do I do? Number 5 for me is Venom 3. This is one of the few Sony-verse Spider-Man movies that I'm actually excited to see. Because I dig the Venom films. I think that they're just stupid, dumb fun. Like, yes, they probably don't make any sense, but it's just like, whatever. So I am very excited to see what happens for this Venom movie. I'm curious if they're gonna bring Andrew Garfield in, because they reference in No Way Home that he wants to find Alien, and he has been starting to do more promotional stuff. Like he did a fan screening for Across the Spider-Verse, and he's been doing a lot more Spider-Man type stuff with Sony. So you're just like, are you going to be in Venom 3? Or are you getting TASM 3? And whatever way it is, you're going to be in a third movie, my friend. So, I'm very excited to see Venom 3. I hope that Andrew's in it. But even if Andrew's not in it, I think it would still be a very fun time. Number 4 for me is Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Now, I'm a big fan of Sonic. I just started to watch the second one for the first time recently, and oh my god, is it so good! I love the Snow Chase, I love Tails, I love Knuckles in it. I think that Jim Carrey is amazing. Papa's got a brand new stash. I love Jim Carrey. I think that he's incredible. He's my favourite actor of all time. And I'm excited to see what they do in this movie, because it's like, you would think that they would have to bring Shadow and that sort of stuff in, and they would have to bring Amy Rose into it, because they already have 3 of the main core team with Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles. So it's like, you gotta bring in Amy Rose. That's the only way that you could go like, this is what we should do. So I'm excited to see what they do with that, and I'm excited to see James Marsden again, but I think I'm a little more excited for another movie that's going to be in this year. Number 3 for me is the Thunderman's return. Now, I'm a big fan of the Thundermans. Every time that we would go up to Yamba, they would have Foxtel on the TVs, so we would watch Nickelodeon, and one of the main shows that we would watch on there, other than Sanjay and Craig and Turtles and SpongeBob and Ricky, Nicky, Dicky and Dawn and that sort of stuff, is the Thundermans. The Thundermans is one of our repeated shows on there, so I'm excited to see what they do in this movie. Apparently it's meant to be a few years later, so I'm excited to see what happens in that, and I'm excited to see what story they tell. All I know is that the trailer made me laugh, like the whole thing of activating secret lair, and Max Boy bumps into the wall, and then Phoebe just goes, "Yeah, that's the TV remote." So it looks like it's gonna have the same humor. It's not gonna be like it's still gonna be funny, like Big Bang Theory kind of fun. It's not gonna be like gruesome or anything. They're not like aging up like the audience is, but I think it still has the potential to be great. Number 2 for me is Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. I am a huge Ghostbusters fan. I legit, like, right behind me have all the movies right behind me, right? So with the reboot and then the 3, that's part of the one continuity, so I'm excited to see what they do with Frozen Empire, because we have Paul Rudd returning, we have the original Ghostbusters returning, we have McCann Grace returning. I was a little afraid that they weren't going to have McCann Grace and Paul Rudd and that sort of people in it, because you would have to try and have Phoebe and the Finn Wolfhard character in school, and then Paul Rudd and those people do the Ghostbusters. But no, it looks like that they're all going to be Ghostbusters in this movie, which I'm so happy, and I'm very excited to see what's going to happen in this Ghostbusters movie, which is exciting to me. Now, number 1 is, of course, we all know, it's Deadpool 3. Deadpool 3 is the movie that we need to be excited for this year. 1, it's the only MCU movie coming out this year, and 2, this movie has a lot of potential. This movie could set up Secret Wars. This movie could have all of these different things that we were looking for in Multiverse of Madness, with the cameos from the original X-Men, even maybe the new X-Men, but the original Fantastic Four with Chris Evans, Jessica Alba, and Ian Grufford, and the original Daredevil with Ben Affleck. Obviously, Jennifer Garner's return is confirmed. We know that she's returned, but she's confirmed. I'm very excited to see what they do with Deadpool 3, because Deadpool is one of my favourite Marvel characters in general, right? So, and let alone one of my favourite superheroes. So, I'm excited to see what they do with Deadpool 3, and the fact that we're getting a comic-accurate Wolverine costume, a brighter red Deadpool, makes me so excited. Keep an eye out on the podcast channel, because I am going to be doing reviews with my dad of the original, of the Fox Marvel movies, because he hasn't seen them before, so I'm excited to see what we do with that. We're only on Daredevil 2003 at the moment, but our next one is X2, X-Men United. So guys, please hit the like button down below if you haven't already. Hit subscribe, also the little bell icon to get notified of future videos I make, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Bye.
Hey there. Subscribe to my channel. And also press this bell icon.